everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different, I guess. Like, I don't think I've really done this on my channel before. I'm going to be following an online tutorial for a vintage look. After looking at several like actual vintage ones and a couple of modern ones, I decided to go for Lisa Eldridge's Marilyn Monroe makeup. The reason I did this is because I wanted to have a little go, just a little fun little thing to do. When I looked at a lot of the other vintage videos, it was very like how to make yourself up in the 40s and 50s, and they were very much aimed at like real women, not movie stars, and I just like that glamorous aesthetic, so that's what we're going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie my hair back and get it completely off my face, and then I'm going to just prep my skin a little bit. So let's get the video loaded. Okay, so the video is called Marilyn Monroe Iconic Makeup Look. I will link it below. So the first thing she talks about here is just like how Marilyn Monroe got to kind of most famous image of Marilyn Monroe. She talks a little bit about she dyed her hair, she talks about her surgery, and she talks about her relationship with Whitey Snyder. Just a point on that. So Whitey Snyder really did kind of create her iconic makeup look, and they were incredibly close. It wasn't until the early 60s where she moved on and kind of did more work with George Masters, who started creating that bouffant 1960s look. Okay, so the first thing we really talk about when it comes to skin is we talk about moisturizing and how Marilyn Monroe liked to use a mixture of Nivea and Vaseline to protect her skin. I don't have either Nivea or Vaseline in my house, but this is what I do have. I have Celestial from Lush, and I have Barry M's Calming Rose Serum Mist. So I'm going to put a layer of Celestial on, and then I'm going to mist over. This is a really thick moisturizer that's great for sensitive skin. So on to the next stage. She's just using liquid foundation that matches skin tone. So I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to buff it into my skin. Okay, so in this tutorial, she doesn't say anything about concealing. I am going to conceal. I have 1 or 2 blemishes, and I'd like to just do my under eyes a little bit. Concealer. So now we're going to move on to eyes. In the video, she talks about how Marilyn Monroe was inspired a lot by Greta Garbo. I know she also really loved Jean Harlow. So she starts off with a lot of white, and the idea throughout this look is that we're creating like a heart-shaped face. So there's a lot of white going on. We're creating a lot of light here, and then it's going to be more sultry as we come out and widen the face. So we're going to get more of a heart-shaped face. Eyeshadow. I'm actually using the Jasmine Chiswell Colour Pop palette. So I'm going in with Silver Screen. I'm just patting it on to get the most colour payoff. Where does she put that white? Oh, literally all over. She puts it all up to that brow line, everything. And I know that she used to bring it round here. White shadow. A luminous white is next. Okay, so we're using now a shimmery white, which I think is in the other Jasmine Chiswell palette. And this one is sultry. We're going to use sultry. I also have this pearlescent highlighter, which I might mix. That's so white. Have I done too much white? She's going to colour lashes. I'm not going to curl my lashes. At the moment, this is looking very 2002. Okay, she's whipped on some lashes. I cleaned especially some demi wispies. She says sort of 3/4 lengths. I think these ones are 3/4 lengths. I never really wear lashes very much anymore. Okay, lashes are on. I've got them so they kind of like wing out a little bit here. We're going to move on to eyeliner. So we're using a brown pencil for this. I've got an Urban Decay one. It's very old. It's called Demolition. So she's keeping it quite close to the lash line, and then she's winging it up a bit. So let's have a little go. I'm going to try a different liner. I'm going to try the Sleek Kohl brown eyeliner. I'm not a big fan of doing my eyeliner after my lashes, I have to say. Okay, I think that's as good as I'm gonna get. So now she's going on to taking a cool toned brown. I'm using Bombshell, again out of one of these, to create a socket here. Just using the picture showed a little darker colour there as well. I went on to one of my favourite tricks. We're going to do the faux lash. So I need that brown eyeliner back, centre of the eye, and then he pulled it across and then brought it down. And then we're going to smudge that a little bit. So you can see we've created like a little shadow here, so it looks like the lashes are causing a shadow. And the next thing we're going to do is take a white liner and do our lash line, and I'm going to put a little bit here as well. We are nearly finished with the eyes. All I'm going to do is take a pink pencil or a red pencil, redden up the inner corner of my tear duct. You can barely see it. My battery died and I've been gone for like an hour. Let's carry on with our girl Lisa and her tutorial. To run eyebrows. Marilyn had quite a specific eyebrow shape. I do not have her eyebrow shape. Hers were a lot more, her arch was a little bit further in, and her eyebrows were a lot further out, sort of starting more like here. Also, if you look at her brows in pictures, they're not like super thick, fully matte coloured. They're more like little hair strokes. I always knew this would be the hardest part. Okay, I think that's the best I can do with brows. I get what she's saying about bringing them out. I just don't have the same shape eyebrow, and I'm not plucking my eyebrows off or blocking my eyebrows out. I wonder if I can just use the white pencil to go up. They need to be quite high up, so I can go up to a bit higher, I think. After some general futzing, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, we're moving on to contour. It looks like she's doing here, and it looks like she's doing here. And that's because she wants the face to come in more heart-shaped. Also, her contouring our nose a little bit. She had surgery to thin her nose down. However, she still liked to go in and thin it down a bit more. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm interested now because we're just moving on to blush. I have heard very mixed accounts on blush when it comes to Marilyn. She is saying that she had quite a strong rouge. She wore like a corally pink blush. But then I've watched other people, like if you watched Erin Parsons, who is a makeup artist who has a YouTube channel, she talks about how Marilyn wasn't known for a lot of blush. I mean, she must have worn a bit of blush, I think. I'm gonna start with a cream blush anyway, just because I just need a bit of colour in my face. But yeah, it's interesting that these two leading makeup artists with an interest in historical beauty don't agree with that. She said also above the eyebrow and the nose. Sorry, I just needed a little melt blend there. You know, a melt blend. You know, when you like get the warmth of your hands and you just, maybe that's a Lucyism. Okay, we're talking about highlighter. Okay, I'm gonna use this Revolution Beetlejuice highlighter. I've not used, ooh, it's pretty. I've not used this before, but I'm gonna go for this pinky shade in the middle. Lisa is saying here is quite interesting. She's saying that whitey, it might be too glittery. Oh yeah, okay, scratch that. I'm not using this. This is a lot glittery than I thought. It's gorgeous, it's just too glittery. And then I'm gonna go in with another Revolution one. This is the Simpsons. And then she's saying that highlighter can go here because we're just bringing like a lot of light into the center of the face here. Center of the head and then down the nose. Yeah, she's saying about giving it a really flat, wide appearance. Isn't that interesting that that's like just not what we would do these days? But yeah, the whole idea is giving this heart face. So we want wide here and slim here. I feel like I'm not as slim. I mean, I got a double chin. Ultimately, I'm never going to be able to completely make my face look slim. You can only work with the face you have, and that's the one I've got. We are moving on to lips. This is a big deal. I've got several lip colours and I'm probably going to use all of them if I'm honest. Something I haven't grabbed is something to block. So I'm going to get some tissue and I'll be back. For you will be momentarily. Okie dokie, picking a pokey. I need to take this off because it's quite warm. From my own knowledge of this, her and YT really spent a lot of time coming up with her signature lip. They also invented products with Max Factor specifically for her. Obviously, like, we're not going to be able to get exactly the colour that she had. If you've watched any of Erin Parsons' videos, like I mentioned earlier, she recently bought some of Marilyn Monroe's makeup, which is incredible. And she says that it looks more orange than red, which that's really interesting as well. A lot of photos, obviously you see it looks red, but in real life obviously it had more of an orange hue. So I'm going to be using a mixture of like a true red and an orangey red to try and get some of that appearance. Let's see what Lisa has to say on the subject. Okay, so we're going for voluptuous. Lining first, we're going high on the outer corners. I'm going to zoom you in. I'm going to pull up a reference photo of her. This is a very famous picture of her. Wish the shirt is dying on the screen. You can see she goes quite far up on the outer corner there, and then it's very rounded, and then she's got quite a defined filtering bit, which I will have to just deal with. I've never concentrated so hard in my life. I'm gonna go in with a lip brush and just smooth out some of that. No wonder some of her makeup took up to 3 hours. This is insane. Slightly darker lipstick first after lining. This is dark red, goes quite well with the liner. It does show you that overlining is not new. I get quite annoyed with that sometimes on vintage channels where they're like, oh, you know, modern makeup, so, you know, it's so much better to be natural. And I'm just there thinking, I'm sorry, which historical makeup are you talking about? Because there's not a lot of history that has natural makeup. It really is like mid 19th, early 20th century, Georgians, a lot of makeup. 20s, really onwards, a lot of makeup. You know, Tudors, a lot of makeup. And it's just crazy that we think of it as this outlandish thing when it's just been there for hundreds of years. This is where we're at. A bit messy, bit messy. Let's do a little blot. Okay, so now we're going in for that orangey red. We're going for this one, and this one is like an orangey red. So in the video she's saying that you want it darker on the edges and lighter on the inside to give this like voluptuous effect. Okay, so basically she says blot, and then she said add on more lipstick and keep adding on like 3 or 4 times. I'm probably not going to do that. I will put another layer of the orangey lipstick on, I think. Next we are going to add a little bit of white to the centre of the lip. I'm just going in with my highlighter colour. Just adding lip gloss. Wouldn't be a Marilyn Monroe tutorial without a lip gloss. Oh, now we get to do the beauty spot, which would be on her left. Her left? Her right cheek above her lip. Okay. I'll zoom you out. Okay, oh, hello. So I've popped the beauty spot on. It's quite hard to get where it should be, and this is kind of the makeup. This is where it has led us. Let me do something with the old Barnet and I'll be right back to show you it all together. And I'm back. Yes, I have this cheap blonde wig, but I thought why not just try it on, see how it looks. I got my own hair out as well. It's a little Rachel Maxey tip there. Anyway, this is how it went. I think actually it's a pretty good tutorial, and I think there's loads of interesting things in there to take on board, get more authenticity with a Marilyn Monroe look. Let me know if you liked it, and let me know if there's any other movie star tutorials you'd like me to follow, because that was quite a fun one to do. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to get some better wigs. If you like this, then please like and subscribe to this channel. I make videos nearly every Sunday, and I'll see you around. Bye!